One of the links in our education system here in California that remains very, very strong is our community colleges, and once a month here on the program we get an update on what's happening with our local community college district. That's the South Orange County Community College District. Joining us today, Nancy Padberg, President of the Trustees. Nancy, welcome back to you.
Thank you.
Happy New Year. Good to have you back with us today. You brought along a special guest today.
Yes, Jordan Larson is our student trustee. We always have a student trustee sitting on the board, and his term of office is 1 year, and the board made a decision last year, I believe it was, to have that office rotate between our two major college campuses, Saddleback and Irvine Valley. So Jordan's enrolled at Saddleback, and he's our student trustee this year from Saddleback. Next year will be someone from Irvine Valley
Great.
College.
Well, Jordan, welcome. Good to have you on the program today.
Glad to be here.
What are you studying over there at the college?
Currently, I'm studying accounting. I recently got accepted into Fullerton, Cal State Fullerton.
Great.
So I'm really excited to make the transition from community college to the real thing.
Right. Not that community college isn't the real thing as well, but it's, in fact, I think you're going to find it interesting. The transition will be interesting between the two schools, and different campus and different philosophies, but hopefully you'll have a continued good education experience over there.
Thanks.
So the board met this past week and had a few things to discuss.
Yes, we did. We had a meeting on Monday night, and two things that we always do honor people at the start of the meeting, and we offered two resolutions. This time one was for Irvine Valley College. They got recognized as a military-friendly school. So both campuses have programs for the military to help them get reintegrated and to restart, you know, a career or whatever their education needs are.
Yeah.
So that was a nice honor, and we gave a resolution to them for that. And then the Saddleback College President's Award for Leadership and Technology, and that went to four of our campus leaders, and so we recognized them with a resolution.
That's great.
So that was good.
You know, the community colleges remain, as we said earlier, really a strong link in the educational program here in California. Even got mentioned last night at State of the Union.
Yes, I know.
The flexibility of the community colleges,
Right.
and the president referred to a lady in the audience who had been downsized out of her job or lost her job, and the local community college partnered with a local business to retrain all these people, and she was able to get a newer and I think a better job. Partly because, and I know you folks have done that as well with different businesses here in Orange County. You might not find that flexibility at Cal State Fullerton, maybe not quite so much, but the community college is very flexible.
That's correct. And when the unemployment rate goes up, our enrollment goes up as well. Trying to help people retrain and get restarted with a new career. So,
right. We understand that the community colleges are really going to be emphasizing the focus on the 18-year-olds coming out of high school, going for their first 2 years at community college. The returning military folks, and then the folks in mid-career who have to either change jobs or want to change jobs, have to change jobs because their job has gone away, or want to change jobs and move into a new career or a new field. And that's going to be really a lot of the emphasis in the future now at the community colleges.
Yes, and there's a new program throughout the state called Student Success, and what that really is trying to focus on is to help the students have goals and then to meet those goals. And you know, we're of course very supportive of that and doing everything that we can.
You folks started a matriculation program a few years ago with a little more intensity, really asking the students not just to come and sign up for what sounds like a fun class, but really to have goal-oriented, and whether it's accounting or whatever it might be. So as a student trustee, some of the responsibilities you have, how you kind of gather information from your fellow students and how you make those presentations at the board.
Well, I normally, before the board meetings, just simply walk around campus and ask, how can I help you? And surprisingly, I get a lot of feedback from students. Also, I meet with the student governments from Saddleback College and Irvine Valley colleges, and they also have a lot of information to offer. We
might see you as an accountant/politician if you're going around asking people how you can help them. That's with that and the math background and the accounting background would be maybe a potential. So we might see him back on the board in a few years as a successful accountant/political leader here in Orange County. Between the two campuses, do you notice a lot of difference, or are some of the needs of the kids about the same? Kids, the students, the young people?
There's a huge difference between Saddleback and IVC. Not just the location, obviously, but just the makeup of the students. IVC is slightly more professional. when you walk on campus, there's more of a professional feel to it. Just how the students are studying, they're a bit more focused. Meanwhile, at Saddleback, it's more of a laid-back type of feel, and a lot of the students like to gather and have events. For example, we just had a sumo pit a couple weeks ago, and it was a big event, and everyone seemed to love it, and it was a great thing to have all the students together and to be involved in the community.
So if you like organizations and like to be involved in some extracurricular activities, it sounds like Saddleback might be more the place to go. If you're strictly career focused and retraining or looking for a job or whatever, and I guess more of the not that technical classes aren't offered at both schools, but a lot of emphasis on computers and high-tech stuff. I know they have a completely separate building that's located for computers there at Irvine Valley College.
And we should mention, of course, our third campus, which is at Tustin, ATEP, and that stands for Advanced Technology and Education Park. And both campuses are going to have programs. That was actually on our board agenda this past Monday. So, and we essentially divided up the area so that it's pretty much equal for their programs. Now it's up to them, of course, to come up with those programs, and then of course we have to put buildings and structures in to support that.
So you're still in a construction phase up there.
Absolutely.
Then you inherited, I believe, what was a former helicopter hangar from the Marines that was there.
Did.
Are you going to retain that facility, or do you have to tear it down?
Unfortunately, we're going to be tearing it down, and that was actually an item on the agenda to approve. I really regret that has to happen, and we also got the chapel, which I regret that we have to tear down too.
Is that because of lead paint and asbestos and some of those kinds of things?
Well, not only that, but there's, of course, where the helicopter hangar was, there's some leakage of fuel, and that all is toxic and has to be cleaned up, and the Marines or the Navy is doing that.
Yeah.
So, but in addition, the buildings are pretty run down and would take more to repair and keep up than just to take and build a new one.
Not part of your campus, but I know people who have shopped over at the district keep noticing those gigantic blimp hangars that are there.
Yes.
And I understand that one of those will be remaining, not that you folks inherited it, but somebody is going to get it.
Yeah.
And I believe one of them may be torn down eventually, although they're considered historic sites. But I understand the maintenance on those is
huge.
Yeah, they have to. I guess they have to tighten all the bolts every year.
Exactly.
Go around.
Yes.
So anyway,
Yeah.
it's a big deal
big
there.
Project. Yeah.
But we wish you guys good success with both campuses, all three
Thank you.
campuses. That's great. So students from Saddleback and Irvine Valley may be integrating into the Tustin facility.
Yes, and currently students, and Jordan can speak to this if he wishes, but students can be enrolled at Saddleback and take classes at Irvine Valley.
Yeah.
And of course they can do that at ATEP as well. So.
Right. So you've probably met some of those students who go to maybe registered in one or in two or more campuses.
Oh, also, of course, I also am one of those students. For example, if there's a time conflict, they offer an equal class at a different campus, so you can manage your day.
You mentioned talking about people being a little bit more focused. I know one of the things in your catalog that people will find of interest is you'll list at the bottom of that class, this transfers to Cal State Fullerton, or this transfers to UCI or wherever. So it helps people, if they're headed for a particular college for the next 2 years, to say, oh, I need this class over this class because this one will transfer and help me out. So,
if we have time, I wanted Jordan to talk about the cost of textbooks, because he brought that up at the board meeting. And
we
that
understand.
Is a real,
I mean, we all that were in college, 100 years ago, remember how much they were back then and how horrendous it was. And you use them for one semester and you can't sell it back, and there's all kinds of issues. So now I understand they're all on your Kindle, right?
Not exactly. Some classes actually require you to purchase the book, not just because of the information, but because of a specific code that it has to log in online to become in the class.
Right.
So the problem that I mentioned a couple days ago is the increasing prices of the textbooks. For example, one of my classes, the books, it's a bundle of books, it costs $160 plus tax, of course, so it's around $180.
Yes.
This is a huge problem. Being a college student, it's very hard to save up this money without being a full-time student and having no job. So, so we're trying to investigate ways to benefit the students, to supply them with the textbook. At Saddleback, they offer the textbook in the library for rent, but occasionally you get the class that can't supply you with the book in the library.
Right, right. So even though to have the internet access, you need to buy the book to get the code to go on the internet to get the other information that the instructor is going to require for that class. So it is an ongoing problem. I'm sure the board would like to give everybody free textbooks, but obviously you can't do that. So.
And we have addressed that and tried to work with the bookstore.
Right.
And they do, excuse me, they do sell used books, and Jordan has come up with an innovative way. He's sharing the cost of a book with another student, and they're sharing the book.
Okay, so creative solution to that problem.
Right.
Exactly.
He's going to be a very successful young man, I think.
So.
Yeah, some good ideas.
Yeah, before class started, the first day of class, I said, hey, I'm looking to purchase a book. Anyone else interested in splitting the cost with me? And surprisingly, a lot of people wanted to join my idea.
This may be your new business.
I know. Good accounting skills.
Yeah, exactly. And and everything will be nicely laid out, and all the numbers will add up correctly as well.
Exactly.
Any final comments on the meeting? Any final items that you discussed that would be?
No,
okay.
of course. I just did bring you a couple things. Of course,
Some
our performing
great
arts
entertainment
thing.
stuff.
I'll leave that for you.
Show you this.
When we do
this
have,
is available.
Yeah.
Pick this up and check out some of the good things you've got. You've even got something for the kiddies. You've got the Jungle Book from Disney coming up. So
and we have
all kinds of good things.
We have a basketball game between Saddleback College and Irvine Valley College coming up, and we're going to be benefiting one of our employees whose child has cancer. So so that's a nice thing too. We're doing.
That's coming up on February 3rd. So if you're a basketball fan
and this will be at Saddleback College.
You're a little burned out on the professionals.
Yes.
Some of their issues. You might want to check this one out and again support this great cause there of the two schools. You know, that's one thing about the sports programs. We hear about the different leagues that they're in. Yes. Not a lot of times do these two schools compete against each other. Yes. So this is kind of a rare opportunity to see both. And you're going to be kind of conflicted since you attend classes at both campuses. You have to have two sets of pom-poms or something there?
I will be supporting the Saddleback.
Okay.
I also played water polo for Saddleback, so they're more of a family to me. Than
okay, a little bit of loyalty there as well.
Exactly.
We thank you both for joining us. And of course, the meetings are televised here on Channel 6. That'll be coming up next Thursday evening for you.
Absolutely.
And you can also attend the meetings in person and see these good books in action as well. Thank you both for joining us. Continue good success there with our local colleges. Thanks for being with us today. We'll be back with more news and more guests as our Wednesday program continues. Stay with us.